and eradicating poverty in Lagos. We're looking at it from the WAPA blueprint. And joining me in the studios this morning, we call her Mrs. WAPA. She's Honorable Cecilia Bolaji Dada, who is the Commissioner for Women Affairs and Poverty Alleviation in Lagos State. Honorable Commissioner, nice to have you in the building. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
All right. So it's your first time in a long while, right?
Yes,
in the studios?
yes.
All right. So look to your left. We have the big screen showing the roads in Lagos. What do you make of it?
Yes, I can identify some of the roads. Yes, I just drove through Alakpere this morning,
so coming
to the studio.
So you can see that on the screen now?
Yes.
Which other locations can you identify there?
Ikoyi.
Ikoyi, okay, great. So it's very obvious that you know Lagos pretty well. And what do you make of this innovation, by the way? What do you make of it?
Fantastic. I was surprised when I came into the studio and I saw this.
Right. This is the work of Mr. Governor.
I used to wonder actually how you get all the information on the traffic situation in Lagos.
Right.
But now I know you have a screen
right
where you see where you see the whole of Lagos.
Which is good. And this is courtesy of Mr. Governor.
Thank God for our governor.
All right then. So let's jump into the program right away, and want to start by doing some concept clarification and demystification, if you may call it like that. So what's the mandate that is given to the Ministry of Women Affairs and Poverty Alleviation?
The Ministry of Women Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, Lagos State, is saddled with the responsibility of promoting women education through vocational and functional training, identifying the needs and promoting the economic activities of women, both in the rural and urban areas.
All right.
Managing women development and encouraging solidarity among women groups, and standing against all forms of gender-based violence and gender equality, and also providing protection for survivors and enhancing the development of women in the state.
All right, so it's a broad mandate indeed, I can see that.
Yes.
So when you look through all of this, because it looks like something is going to be very, very huge, how far have we gone in meeting up with these objectives?
Well, when we look at the promotion of women education through vocational and functional training, we have about 20 skills acquisition centers and one women development center, where about 20 skills are being taught. So you know that the government of Mr. Bolaji Olusola Sanwo-Olu is not doing badly in that area. Also, the supervision of Women Development Center is one of the centers that we supervise. We have one in Agege. Then managing women development and encouraging solidarity amongst women. We have a program called Women Assembly, where we gather all the women in Lagos State through the 20 local government and local council development areas. We identify different categories of women: traditional rulers' wives, religious leaders.
Oh, so you have engagement with these different stakeholders too?
Yes, student union leaders, youths, women leaders.
All right.
We try to get different categories of women to come together. We usually have them for like 3 days to talk to them, to find out what the issues are, and to input whatever issues they have in our budgets. For example, during one of those programs, we realized that a lot of women in Lagos State do not take care of their health. So we decided that for every of our programs, we will include free medical checks for women.
Wow.
Also, we have the WAPA Connect. That is for the elites. We realized that a lot of elites do not even know what the government is doing because they hardly watch local news. So we have this program where we bring in professional women, the elites, and we just roll out all the programs of Ministry of Women Affairs and Poverty Alleviation.
So let's do this kind of distinction now, Honorable Commissioner. So to put it in proper perspective, it's all about women affairs, but are children also included?
No.
Not at all.
My ministry is not responsible for children. That's the Ministry of Youth and Social Development.
So the girl child is not part of this?
No, it's not.
Okay. It's everything about women. So when we say women now, what categories, from what age are we talking about?
So when we say women, I must also mention that the ministry is Ministry of Women Affairs on one hand, Poverty Alleviation on the other hand. So when we talk of poverty alleviation, it is for all Lagosians, men, women, young, youths, everybody is involved.
Okay.
That's why in all our schools,
right,
we have youths, we have young boys, we have men, we have women. So the poverty alleviation part of the ministry covers everybody in Lagos State.
Thank God that you're making that clarification, because I was just having an argument with my colleagues earlier on, and I was telling her that men are endangered species, where everything that is targeted now is towards women. But, well, now you said it, poverty alleviation, men are included. Yes. We'll talk about the aspects and whatever, but let's look at programs that WAPA has been bringing up, especially the specific programs that WAPA is putting in place just to promote women's economic empowerment. Let's look at that.
Thank you very much for that question. The first one I'll talk about is the Micro Enterprise Support Initiative. We have it here in your compound, LTV8.
Okay.
Initially, when Mr. Governor came on board, it was done once a year. But because our governor is very passionate about the plight of Lagosians, he increased it to every quarter. This is a program where we come together to give equipment, enabling equipment, cash gifts to indigent Lagosians and graduates from our Skills Acquisition Center. So far, we have done about 15,583 beneficiaries since the inception of Mr. Bolaji Sanwo-Olu's government.
Wow. And what kind of equipment are we talking about here?
We give sewing machines, we give stoning machines, cake mixers, we give grinding machines to widows and the elderly who cannot learn skills anymore. We give vulcanizing machine, iron fabricating machines, aluminium fabricating machines.
Wow. So these
industrial ovens and whatever.
And over 15,000 have benefited from this?
Yes, please.
So how do you pick your recipients? I mean, those that are beneficiaries of this, how do you get them?
Okay. So I spoke about our schools. We have 19 plus 1, 20 skills acquisition centers. So far, about 28,000 students have graduated from that school. Before the end of this week, another 5,310 will be graduating. So we pick from some of our graduates because we realize that just giving those things to people who have not even learnt that skill is not right, because they will sell if they don't have need for it.
Right.
So we decided to give our students who have learnt the skills for 1 year, for 9 months. It's not possible for somebody who has gone to a sewing school, a fashion school, to get a sewing machine and sell it off. So we focus more on our students. So 70% of beneficiaries are graduates from our schools. Then we mine names from the state social register. Yes, which is the social register is domiciled in the Ministry of Economic Planning and Budget.
That's right.
Then people walk in, write letters requesting for equipment. So we also take such people.
Right. So do you give grants as well?
Yes, we give cash grants. Some people have started their businesses, but at some point they are stuck. We give them cash grants. And some people, sometimes, for example, the International Widows Day that passed, we gave cash grants, but we didn't just give cash grants. We invited facilitators to teach people on the kind of businesses that they can do with such amounts of money.
All right. So all these programs are there?
Yes. I must also mention our Livelihood Economic Empowerment Program, which is our short-term training program. The schools, the trainings are long-term for 1 year, 9 months, but we have this 4 weeks short-term training that we take from community to community, and after such training, we give them equipment to be able to start their businesses. Those are skills that people do not need shops like gele and the makeup making, soap making, stoning of fabrics and all of that, crafts to make Ankara bags and all those things.
All right.
And we all of these trainings are free of charge.
All of them.
I must mention that.
Okay.
Yes.
I think it's very good that you have to clarify that this one, because sometimes when you go to some of these places, some people might begin to tell you the cock and bull stories to say, well, they have to pay one thing or the other. But let's return to the first pillar of that mandate. I think you talked something about promoting education, right?
Yes.
All right. So how does WAPA address the challenges that are faced by women in accessing education, even healthcare as well, and even when we talk about economic opportunities? How are you guys doing that?
That is like a summary of everything that I just spoke about.
Right.
Because when you talk of education for women, we have 19 skills acquisition centers and 1 development center, where people can. We even teach adult literacy for women who cannot write or who cannot even spell their names.
Right.
Some people want to learn skills, but it's difficult for them to learn because they don't even have an idea of where to start from. So we have adult literacy classes, and we give all the skills trainings that I've spoken about. And for the healthcare, I mentioned earlier on too that for every of our programs, we give free medical checks.
Free medical checks?
Yes.
Okay.
For all the beneficiaries and all the attendees of all our programs.
This is your 6th year of being the commissioner in charge of that ministry, right?
Yes.
There must be some success stories, some very compelling and touching stories for you. Can you remember anyone?
Yes, several. For every of our graduation ceremonies, we invite successful students who have graduated, who are doing very well. We have a young man who graduated from a fashion school, who exports shirts, men's shirts, out of the country.
Wow.
We have a lady who also did fashion, who has employed about 6 people that she's training. There was a particular woman that came that we gave grinding machine, an old woman. When we gave that grinding machine to her, she cried. And she said she used to be the one managing people's grinding machines in the market, that she will grind pepper from morning till night, and at the end of the day, they will give her 1,000 naira.
Wow.
That to think that she herself
will now
own a grinding machine, you know. So those are the kind of things that inspire me as a commissioner to want to do more.
Right. That's really, really compelling. That's a story that will leave lasting memories for you, even when you are no longer in office as the commissioner. But let's touch base on other. Are there ways you're able to identify the vulnerable communities where women are in Lagos? Is there a way you can do that?
We try to touch on all the local governments and local council development areas, and then we go to communities. There was a community we took the Livelihood Economic Empowerment Program to Irede community around Ojo local government. When we got there, when we trained them for 4 weeks, even the Oba of that community was so excited.
Wow.
And the day we were doing graduation ceremony for those beneficiaries, it was as if they were having a huge party in that community.
So lots of joy.
We go from community to community. We've been to Abaronje, we've been to communities that I've never heard before I became commissioner.
Wow. So you
just
to touch all those areas.
Yes.
What about riverine communities? Just communities in Lagos where you have to go through the boats.
Yes, we've been to several. Just recently we went to Ibeshe.
Okay.
Ibeshe community, we had to go with the boats. You know, we've been to several riverine communities too, because we want those women in those communities to know that government has not forgotten them.
Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. This morning on the program, we're empowering women and eradicating poverty in Lagos, the WAPA blueprint. And if you're wondering who's speaking with me, I have the Honorable Commissioner for Women Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, and I'm talking about Honorable Cecilia Bolaji Dada. All right, then we'll be touching base with other aspects of her ministry. But let's quickly get back to the roads. By the way, if you have any questions for her, feel free to bring it on board. She's here to respond to those questions as well. But we're still tracking that accident around Newcastle inwards Antonio Key. That one is receiving attention. But Olawala, if I can get an update on that, I would appreciate it as well. Those of you heading to the island, the Third Milan Bridge is still looking good. No major worries if you're coming in from Alakbare, approaching Ifako Gudu. A little bit slow there, but of course, beyond that point towards where it gets better, the Third Milan Bridge proper is looking good. The return journey towards the mainland, making use of that corridor, do not forget there's a construction work which is ongoing at the expansion joint of Ifako Gudu. So just one lane available for movement, but no major worries driving through that corridor. Bagada heading towards Anthony, yes, I did tell you it is slow due to that accident. Ikorodu Road is still looking good at the moment, and Lagos Abeokuta Expressway, you have it good, but approaching Cement, you have it slow there inwards Ilezik down to National, nothing unusual. You have the 4 lanes narrowing and thinning out into 2 lanes. That's why you have it pretty slow within that particular corridor. But of course, we're tracking it minute by minute as well. All right, then. So like I said, you can always join the conversation on 09153877127 and 08099120777. Honorable Commissioner, let's get back to the conversation. So in terms of collaboration, let's look at what you guys are doing in that regard. Who are your partners? Who are those that you collaborate with to ensure that you carry out all these laudable objectives?
Thank you very much. We collaborate with SUBEB, State's Universal Basic Education Board.
All right.
And what kind of collaboration do we have with them? There are a lot of out-of-school children in Lagos State.
Okay.
We were able to identify that. So SUBEB and WAPA decided to collaborate with trainings for parents of out-of-school children. You have a call?
Okay, let's see if we can take this call. Hello there.
Yes, Victor.
Yeah, allow.
Just a quick feedback concerning your request, decision around Newcastle.
All right.
One of the 2 trucks has been moved out, so we have the single truck on ground now, which the tire has to be fixed before the removal.
Okay.
The situation is being well managed within that corridor.
Good.
Those coming in from the other end, en route, Newcastle will still maintain 2 single lanes towards Antonio. Okay. That's just a quick one.
All right, then. Thank you so much for that one. All right. So one of the accidented vehicles off the road, 1 truck still very much on ground, trying to fix the tires, but of course it's properly managed and well streamlined. All right. So, Honorable Commissioner, you're talking about partnerships.
Yes, I was talking about SUBEB. So SUBEB collates names of children out of school due to financial incapability of their parents for WAPA to take action. So we thereafter train and empower this set of indigent people, that's their parents, so they can cater for their families and return the children back to school.
Okay.
Also, the Lagos State Health Management Agency, LASHMA realized that it is not everybody that is sick that has the disease or the other.
Right.
Some problems that some people have is money, economic problems. So they gather such people, we train them on skills, and we give them materials to start their businesses. Then we have a Purple project where we have a call center within LASEMA. Yes. So we have about 7 emergency responders in LASEMA call center where they can receive emergency calls from domestic violence victims and survivors.
All right.
And we have about 57 agents in the 57 local government development areas where such calls can be escalated.
So this is part of the gender-based violence that you talked about earlier?
Yes.
Okay. And you're doing that in collaboration with, is that
with LASHMA.
LASHMA, okay.
No, the calls is with LASEMA.
Okay, all right.
With the 767 number and the 112 numbers.
All right. Okay then. All right. Let's see if we can expand it, discuss beyond the studios. 08099120777. We're talking women affairs and poverty alleviation this morning, and we're looking at how best to empower women and also eradicate poverty in the state. So if you have any questions for my guests, feel free. I'm expecting more women participating this morning than men, but of course your calls are really, really welcome. This one says, good morning, Traffic Radio. I want to say kudos to the commissioner and Lagos State Government. Can young ones in schools also participate in the training and skills acquisition? This is Sheon from Ikeja. Sheon, thank you so much for this one. Honorable Commissioner?
Well, young ones in school might be able to participate in the 4 weeks training.
Okay.
Because we run a curriculum that runs like normal schools as well. So young ones that are still in school will not be able to leave their school to come to our own school.
Okay.
But young graduates from secondary schools, maybe while awaiting their school cert results and all of those, can get trained for our 4 weeks livelihood economic empowerment.
When is the training coming up?
It comes up from time to time.
Okay.
And we take it from community to community, and also different categories of people. We haven't thought of training young students, but we could also consider that. We have trained retiring civil servants. We have trained wives of military and paramilitary officers. We have taken it to several communities and local governments in Lagos State. We have trained people living with disability.
Oh.
We have trained people living with sickle cell and all of that. So we try to cover everybody.
Right.
But indeed, we have not thought of young students in school.
All right.
Maybe we can do holiday
Period.
yes.
All right. That would be like a summer kind of
Yes.
training. All right, then, Session. I hope you got that. Message here from Oluwaloko, one of our regulars. He says, "Good morning, Victor. Please help me appreciate our guest this morning. She's indeed one honorable commissioner. Okay, she's indeed one honorable commissioner. I greet and commend her efforts and pray for more strength to remain steadfast as a change agent." Oluwaloko. Thank you so much, Oluwaloko.
Thank you, Olu.
All right. 08099120777 and 09153877127. Have any questions for the commissioner? Feel free to connect with us this morning. And of course, she's here to respond as well. All right. Let's see. This one says, this one says, how does WAPA deal with cases where husbands take control of what women earn? Bola Dale. Okay, Bola Dale sent this one. Thank you so much. So, do you guys intervene in that?
Well, we don't, except there's an issue and Bola Dale brings that issue to WAPA. We try not to interfere in issues without the affected person coming to report. We've had several cases of people where issues where neighbors will come in to report that a neighbor has beaten the wife, and we will rush there, and the wife will say, "No, my husband has not touched me." So we want the victim herself to come to us, report whatever matter you have, then we can take it up.
All right.
We try to mediate sometimes, and if the mediation is not successful,
right,
we take it over
to the legal team. All right, then 08099120777 09153877127. I have the Honorable Commissioner for Women Affairs and Poverty Alleviation in the studios. For you women, I need to hear from you this morning. This one says, "Good morning. I heard WAPA does free vocational training. Where can I register in Surulere?" Titi is sending this one in. Thank you so much, Titi. So,
thank you so much, Titi. There is Inu Road beside police station off Western Avenue, Ogambasi in Surulere.
All right.
You can go there. One of our centers is there. Inu Road.
Inu Road.
Beside the police station off Western Avenue, Ogambasi.
All right. So I hope you heard that. You can go to Inu Road, and of course you'll be able to register and get all the attention that is required. All right. So you said from age, is that 18 now, or what age can women really begin to benefit from your programs?
Well, like I said earlier on, where you want to benefit from WAPA, you don't have to be 18.
Okay.
You can be 16.
Ah.
Yes. You can be any age, as long as you're ready to learn. And like I said also earlier on, it's not just for women. Anybody that is interested. There was a young boy of about 13 years old who came for our livelihood economic empowerment program,
Right.
he learned makeup and gele. He was a star boy on the day of the graduation. About 13 years old, a boy.
A guy into gele and makeup.
Yes, he was a star boy on the day of the graduation. So we do not have limitation of age. You can be 60.
Right. And you can still participate.
Yes, as long as you're ready to learn.
All right. Let's talk about the challenges that are confronting you guys as an agency of government, as a ministry of government. What are some of those agencies confronting WAPA as it seeks to address all of these humongous challenges facing the people?
Challenges. Well, the most challenging part of the job is, like I mentioned earlier on, the domestic violence issues.
Okay.
When it is obvious that a woman is abused and you go to, she comes to report.
Let me take this call that's coming in. Hello there.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Miriam from Bariga.
Miriam, how are you doing?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm very good too. So let's hear from you. I have the Honorable Commissioner for Women Affairs and Poverty Alleviation.
Okay. I have a question.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. Does this WAPA have partnership with banks or microfinance for loans for single mothers and widows?
Oh, okay.
That's my question.
All right. Thank you so much. So do you guys have any partnership with any of those banks for loans?
No, we don't. We have partnership with banks for POS machines during our empowerment programs. They give us the POS machine. They train beneficiaries on using the POS machines and then disburse the money. But there is the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund.
Okay.
We started with that responsibility of giving loans.
Is that under your ministry?
No.
Okay.
It's an agency on its own.
Do you have agencies under your ministry or just a single?
It's just a single ministry. We have just the Women Development Center.
Okay.
Yes.
That's under it.
So she can go to the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right. Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM 08099120777. Thank you so much, Miriam, for that. This one says, good morning, Ma. I am Rotimi. Please, how can market women access small loans through WAPA's poverty alleviation schemes? Thank you, Rotimi.
Like I said earlier on, we don't give loans.
Okay.
But Lagos State Employment Trust Fund is saddled with that responsibility. They have budgets for loans. They have affiliations and partnerships with banks for loans with very low interest rates. Even some of our graduates access loans from LSCTF.
All right. Okay. So that's already in place already?
Yes.
Okay then. 08099120777 09153877127. That's the numbers that you can call, or perhaps you want to send your message to. Of course, our guest is here. The Honorary Commissioner is here to respond to you as well, and we can take that to the next level. All right. For the accident that we're talking about, one of the trucks taking off, the other one still very much on ground, receiving attention this morning, and that's around Newcastle inwards Antonio K. All right, that was recorded earlier on, and of course, it's still receiving attention. This one says, good morning, my name is Afolabi. Did you have any poverty okay, so do you have any poverty alleviation for men? Why is what's saying? Do you have any poverty alleviation for men? He said, why is it only woman alone? Because I know a woman that's what are you saying? There is always what? Okay, beating her husband. Okay.
That's very interesting.
Afolabi, why are you coming up with that?
Well, Afolabi, I mentioned earlier on that our empowerment programs are for both men and women. We do not discriminate when it comes to empowering Lagosians. We give out equipment like barbing kits with sterilizers and generating sets. We give out aluminum fabricating machines. These are equipment basically for men, even though we also have women in our schools that do barbing and photography and all of that. So we don't discriminate. It's not just for women alone.
Okay.
But for the woman that beats her husband,
yes.
well, it's okay. At least we have men that beats women.
No.
So when we say a woman beating the man,
No,
it's
not
okay.
okay. Honorable Commissioner, it's not okay.
Let's balance it now.
No,
More
not
men
at all.
beat women.
All right,
So
but
when we say a woman beats man, that's not bad.
anyway, so this
That's
is
just on a lighter
a
note.
ladder note. That's right. All right, but I mean, nothing would warrant that. And if you have that kind of a situation at Falabi, I think it's best you report to DSVA, the Domestic and Sexual Violence Agency. They're always there. They'll be able to provide support. Let's take this call. Hello there. Hello. Okay, I guess we lost that. 09153877127. Gradually winding to the end of the program this morning. But of course, you've talked about the challenges. We lost that call. We can try and put that call across once again. But in terms of people that are coming for your skills acquisition, I'm just curious, do you sometimes find it difficult that people are not showing up, or is it that all the time when you bring out these programs, they're always there?
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Victor. This is Oteri.
Hey, Toljide, talk to me.
Yeah, quickly, what is the plan of this ministry with local government to ensure that this information is properly disseminated to those concerned at the grassroots level?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toljide, a roving reporter. All right, then. So what are your plans to ensure that all these things that you said can get to the people so that they get the information as quickly as possible?
I'm sure that's why we're here this morning. We used to have a radio program here, WAPA Yans.
That's right.
Where every Wednesday by 2:00 we come on air to talk about our programs and all the information that people need. Like I also mentioned the Women Assembly program, where we invite people from local governments to talk about what we do. And then we interact with CDAs and CDCs of all the local governments in Lagos State. The community leaders, religious leaders, landlord associations, and student union leaders. We try to invite people in positions of authority.
Let me see if I can take this call. Hello there. Hello.
Good morning, Victor.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, Victor.
Yeah, good morning.
Daniel.
Yeah, Comrade Daniel, go ahead. Yeah, good morning.
All right, yeah. Okay, good morning, madam.
Good morning,
Honorable
sir.
Commissioner. Okay, yes, my question is that I just want to commend every of your efforts in trying to alleviate poverty in Lagos. And I think you guys are doing wonderful, doing great things. My question is that what is the plan to take out this, what we call this miscreants or people who are on the streets doing nothing? What are your ministry doing? Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you very much. That responsibility is domiciled in the Ministry of Youth and Social Development.
Okay.
Not my ministry. But I know that they're doing a lot concerning the removal of all those miscreants on the road. And also, the Ministry of Environment is also doing a lot
in that regard. Okay. All right, then. Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. Let me see. Messages are streaming in. Let me take this one. This one says, good morning. Please, is there any center in Ikorodu? Thank you. Okay, you didn't put your name. So do you have any of your centers in Ikorodu?
Yes, we have about 2 centers in Ikorodu. We have one in Itailewa. It's on Olaono Road in Ikorodu. And we have Ikorodu 2 that is in Borokini Street, Aga in Ikorodu. So we have 2 centers in Ikorodu, Itailewa and Aga.
Right. Honorable Commissioner, we have very limited time left on the program this morning. But when you look at all of this, poverty alleviation. Oh, do you have a call? All right, let me just quickly squeeze that in. Hello there, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Victor, and good morning, Madam Commissioner.
Good morning, sir.
Babatunde from Egbeda.
Nice to hear from you.
Just wanted to stress that Ministry of Environment, Ministry of Health, all of them have much more relationship with the CDCs and the CDAs. They come to some of their meetings with some members come and explain things to them. You have fathers there, you have these women there, their mothers there. I believe they should please increase their association with the CDCs and the CDAs, because leaving the civil servants alone to be doing it from the local government, I don't believe they'll get more to the grassroots than the CDCs and the CDAs. More elbow grease. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Babatune, for that. So I hope you have more engagement with the CDAs and the CDCs.
Yes, like I mentioned earlier on, when we identify a local government that we want to go, it is the CDAs and the CDCs that we talk to.
Right. Okay, let's begin to round all of this up now. So I'm just looking through. What is the vision really in terms of poverty alleviation for women in Lagos State? What's the target? Where are you guys heading to?
To eradicate poverty completely.
0%, right?
Zero tolerance to poverty in Lagos.
Is that possible?
But having said that, I must also mention that government cannot do it alone.
Okay.
So I want to use this opportunity to seek the partnership of corporate organizations, philanthropists out there to support the ministry, because all that I've mentioned has been financed solely by the state government. We do not get any kind of support out there.
All right. So for those who want to connect with the ministry, how can they do that quickly?
Well, they can call 080 33 244 981.
All right. That's 080 33 244 981.
For partnership.
All right. And of course, they can also send a mail to wapa@lagostate.gov.ng. For those of you who would like to connect with them on Instagram, I understand you guys at Lagos
State Women Affairs.
Right. And of course, on Facebook, it's WAPA Lagos, right?
Yes.
And on X, it's WAPA Lagos as well.
Yes.
Madam, it's a great thing to have you in the studios. I hope we can have this conversation regularly from time to time. But in rounding off, what's your message? What's your parting thought to our listeners this morning?
I'd like to thank Lagosians for your support thus far. And I'd like to urge all the indigent Lagosians to take the opportunity of all the programs that WAPA has. Lagos State government has zero tolerance for poverty. There are a lot of opportunities out there.
Right.
Come to WAPA and you'll be empowered.
All right. We'll leave it at that for now. It's nice having you in the building. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so this morning on the program, we've been trying to see how we can empower women and eradicate poverty in Lagos, the WAPA blueprint. And if you're wondering who's been speaking with me, Mrs. Cecilia Bolaji Dada is the Honorable Commissioner for Women Affairs and Poverty Alleviation. We have to go. The program has been produced by Dayo Anthony. Maximum shout out to Eloho Agre, who's Deputy Director of Public Affairs for that ministry, working tirelessly behind the scene for this program to come on stream. All right, then maximum shout out to Okpa Ebishonunke and Remy Aluko of our social media team. Our executive producer is Tayo Akonle. My name is Victor Oteri. I'm out, still very much within. I'll be back shortly for The Benchmark.